Hey guys, it's August 11th. I'm Chris.
Good morning, I'm Mark.
And Turtle Power, the new
TMNT.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles. They kicked ass at the box office this weekend, bringing about 65 million.
Yep.
I thought it was a bit surprising. I was really thinking Guardians was gonna kind of keep its momentum going from last weekend. It did so well, and apparently this movie just sucks too.
Yeah, it's been bombing. The critics have been really aggressively saying this is not. I mean, Michael Bay is usually pretty fun, summer blockbuster, all that stuff, but the writing just wasn't there. A lot of tired jokes. Keeping that in mind, it's for the kids. The kids don't know what necessarily are new.
What is good?
Yeah, what is good? Well, not necessarily what's good, but just sort of like they've. As an adult, you've seen a whole bunch of gags before, you've seen the jokes before, and so if there's like a tired, cliched, like played out joke, you're gonna pick up on it, but probably a 7-year-old kid won't. Although there are great writers for kids shows. I watch shows with my nieces all the time, I'm always impressed. But yeah, when you go from Guardians of the Galaxy and you watch that, which is a super fun movie, if you haven't seen it, go see it. Like, stop watching this and go watch it. And then you watch TMNT, which I can't speak to because I haven't seen it. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I haven't.
I didn't watch it.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I'm not drawn. Like, I like that whole mythology, but I know it's going to be a little bit lackluster.
Well, now I'm like kind of shocked that after just one semi-good weekend, they've already greenlighted a sequel.
Well, that I'm not surprised with because the whole TMNT franchise has been a cash cow since it was created by Eastman and Laird. Like these characters are so lovable and that universe is so interesting that since its inception as a comic book and then as a cartoon and then as toys like this, I remember I had the toys when I was a kid. And it's been a steady march of just money this whole time.
Even if the movie doesn't end up doing that well, the toys alone will
still going to be huge. They're still probably going to make another cartoon. They're going to have tons of toys. It's a popular franchise for kids because it's a cool story idea. I mean, there's ninjas and there's mutants and there's like a talking rat. I mean, what's not to love?
PGA Championship this weekend, and Rory McIlroy won. Very exciting. One of the best tournaments in maybe years.
Golf's new golden boy.
Yeah, he's replaced Tiger Woods, who's he's 38 now. He's constantly injured. He didn't make the cut this year.
Yeah.
It's tough to see him go, but at the same time, it's really nice to see somebody kind of assume that mantle.
Tiger Woods never quite made it back from the whole sex scandal thing, and I mean recent injuries. He's been out of the game for a bit. I mean, I don't think there's any replacing Tiger Woods. He's one of the all-time greats of the game anymore. Just like there's no replacing Jack Nicklaus. You know what I mean? There's no. I mean, these guys were great in and of their own right at the time, and they still are phenomenal. They're still great. But this kid, new blood into a sport that isn't necessarily
that exciting anymore. Sorry.
Popular, fun to watch. I don't know. I'm trying to be nice. I don't play golf, but it's not the most exciting. It's sort of like something like you watch on a Sunday with your dad if there's nothing else to do.
No, this Roy brings in something to more casual fans. He's a name people will recognize now. He's young, he's fun, he's energetic, and he's really good.
Any televised sport needs a high-profile personality, and Rory looks like he's the new guy for this.
Yeah. The iWatch. Is it happening? Is it coming out in September? Is it not? There was a noted tech columnist, John Gruber, who said, yes, it's definitely coming out in September. And then he was like, I was just kidding. Yeah. Which is, kind of strange that you joke about something like that.
Yeah, it's also strange because it's not really funny. It's not a joke at all. So I don't know why he did that. I mean, maybe he knows something. He does have the inside scoop of what's going on with Apple frequently. So maybe he does know something, or he kind of joked about it, and then they were like, "What are you doing, Apple? What do you can't like Ixnay on the iPhone?
Well, yeah, the iPhone is coming out, and people are excited about that. But a lot a lot of people are thinking, well, they're going to sneak in one more thing.
Which they like to do, right? Which
they kind of need to do this time, because they really need something to re-energize.
Competitors have been kind of like lurking in the shadows, trying to overtake Apple for a while now, and as well they should. That's their job. So it's interesting. So it's not surprising that they might have something in their back pocket. They're just going to be like, oh yeah, it's not just the iPhone 6. Boom, iWatch, you're welcome.
If it comes out in September, I will go and buy one right away.
I will not, probably, but I will get a 6, probably. Maybe, I'll probably buy one.
A sad story from the racing world was there was a sprint car race this weekend. Tony Stewart was going around. There was a collision with Kevin Ward. He got out, Kevin Ward did. He was angry, kind of came on the track and yelling, and he got clipped and hit, and he died. And
there's the controversy is, was it an accident or is this a homicide? Did he deliberately swerve? Because it's
so hard to tell.
I didn't want to watch the footage because I hate this kind of thing. I'm not the type of guy to watch torture porn or anything. And that's it turns my stomach, obviously, with reason. But this I kind of watched through kind of like two fingers, like it was a horror movie, and it does look like he tries to swerve, but I can't tell if he tried to kind of foresee, was he trying to go left and he tried to go right to kind of like go around him and he just missed it. That being said, he's a race car driver. He should have supreme control of his vehicle. He should be able to avoid a human on the track.
Yeah, that's what I think. You know, yes, it was an accident,
right?
But at the same time, he should be held responsible for hitting somebody who was just on the track.
To be fair, there shouldn't be anyone on the fucking track. Like you shouldn't, it's a car race, maybe avoid the track where the cars are driving. So safety parameters, why didn't, you know what I mean? Why wasn't there an attempt to get off the track entirely instead of crossing it?
He lost his mind. He was angry.
And there could be,
one of the big things in racing is, you know, the big personalities attract viewership, but also,
hot-blooded. And also you're in game mode, which is like which is a different. So there's a lot happening here. There needs to be a bit of an investigation. And anyway, our thoughts go out to the family because it's just.
And I personally just hope that NASCAR treats this situation with the respect that it deserves, because it didn't look like they were taking it very seriously over the weekend, and that's going to be a hot issue for the next little while.
Yeah.
Okay, so zombie fatigue, is this a thing now? Because The Last of Us...
Wait, when you say zombie fatigue, you mean like, do you think that whole genre, like the zombie apocalypse genre, is dying? Like
yeah,
it's not
actual zombies getting tired.
Like they've jumped the shark and it's time to retire the entire genre?
Not that they've jumped the shark necessarily, but that they've just used it, they're using it too much. Movies, games, comic books, everyone. It seems every twist plot, every post-apocalyptic world, zombies.
You know what? I'm gonna say no, and here's why. If you look at the vampire werewolf genre, it just keeps going. Like there's just more and more mileage. I'm not a huge fan of of Twilight, particularly because I can't, because the vampire doesn't sparkle. It doesn't. But that being said, like these genres, like ever since like Interview with the Vampire, that is a really powerful mythology that people are enamored with, and the same holds true for the zombie mythology, or whatever that is. And I think people do kind of look forward to be like, the zombie apocalypse. Apocalypse has always been seductive because it's sort of like a massive game of what if. What would I do? You know what I mean? Would I survive?
I'm a prepper.
I'm a total prepper. I'm like, yeah. Chris and I have a fight club on the weekend where we just prep and like fight zombies. We pay zombies to fight them. Yeah, we both have a shotgun at our desks.
Because like the Last of Us video game is being adapted into a movie, and the writer recently came out saying we have to basically cut down 15 hours of storytelling into 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I think the one reason the gamers loved The Last of Us was because it was such a rich story, and then you can do something interesting with that. If you're cutting it down to 2 hours, it's going to become maybe like just The Walking Dead again, or something like that.
As with any genre, you need plot, you need storylines, you need good characters, strong characters. You need to care about the world that's being created for you, right?
Yeah.
So do I think the zombie apocalypse genre? I'm like, no, as long as...
I like it, but...
Yeah, it's great, as long as the stories keep being, I mean, there's a lot of shitty vampire movies, there's a lot of shitty zombie movies, but no, ever since George A. Romero came out, with, he's like the father of the genre, pretty much. Yeah. I think it's just going to keep trucking, just like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, making a ton of shitty movies that make a ton of money regardless.
Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.
Bye, guys. Take care.